Welcome back to Deep Meditation Masterclass. In this session, we will discuss the advanced level of breathing meditation. This may take weeks or months of practices for some to attain, and can be much more quicker for some others, depending on the time and the dedication you have for your practice. By this time, you would probably be spending at least half an hour for daily practices, having felt the joy and the feeling of tranquility meditation gives you. You first started with the counting of breaths, and then slowly moved out of counting to watching the breath and saying it out loud in the mind. Then as you progressed, you started watching the breath coming in and going out, like the gatekeeper of the city of the mind. Keep tracking your breath until the mind is attached to the breathing. At this advanced stage, your awareness of the breath becomes sharper. You would then be able to distinguish between the length of the breath coming in versus the length of breath going out. At this level, meditate with the comprehension of the length of the breath. Know in your mind that you drew a long breath, or know in your mind that you drew a shorter breath. Know in your mind whether you exhaled a long breath or whether you exhaled a shorter breath. At the same time, you become aware of the full cycle of breathing. You see clearly the start of a new breath. You see clearly as the breath goes in. You see very clearly when the breath finished going in and the breath started coming out. As you become aware of the full breath, no gap exists between two breaths. Therefore, no gap exists in your mindfulness. At this level, you will see that the breath is becoming smoother and lighter. The gap between two breaths would be much longer than when we breathe normally. When the mind becomes more tranquil, breathing becomes finer and finer. At one point it becomes so fine that the mind will perceive that the breathing had ceased. But no, that is not the case. The breathing exists at a very delicate state. Keep your focus on the breathing, and you will again be able to perceive the subtle breathing. Keep on practicing until you become proficient to come to this level at each of your meditation sessions. You will see that the tranquility you experience through this level of meditation would remain with you for quite a long duration. It will remain even after you rise from meditation and get back to your daily chores. With years of experience and practice, you would be able to reach the highest levels of breathing meditation. At that level, after your breathing becomes very delicate and the mind starts becoming pure without the disturbance of thoughts, you would start seeing manifestation of deep concentration signs in your mind. This differs by the person. For some, it's seen as a mist of light. For some, it's like a designed wall pattern. For some, it manifests as a pure light. Whichever the shape, it's essential not to think of the phenomena, but to keep the focus on the breath. As the image solidifies, it's accompanied by the feeling of light and a feeling of immense joy. At this level, it becomes almost effortless to keep the mind on breathing, and the mind becomes completely still, signifying your mastery over the mind.